Hi there, this is Tarun Gill from Tarun Gill Fitness, answering your fitness related queries. So the other day I was with one of my clients and she asked me this question, that Tarun, that my goal is weight loss, how much calories should I be taking in? So this got me going, so I further dwelled into it and I asked her, I said, do you know what calories are? How do you define calories? And for a minute she was clueless, as if मैंने उससे क्या पूछ लिया है. So that kind of way it struck me. I said, it'll be an interesting idea to do a video log on calories. I'm pretty sure most of you would know about it, but for people who don't, it'll be kind of a good ready reckoner for you to kind of look back on. So let's quickly start on this. So calories, what exactly are calories? So if I were to simply define it, it's just a measure. How do you measure the energy requirements of the body? So just now look back at what is the energy source of a body. There are only typically three sources which are called the macronutrients. And what are those macronutrients? I'm sure you must have heard of these. Protein, carbs, fats. This is where the energy comes from the body, and this is what actually constitute all the calories that you throw into your body. Now if you want to calculate how much calories should I be eating, before we get into the breakup of that, I want you to understand some numbers here. So when you say take 20 grams of protein or 15 grams of protein, what does that actually mean? How does that translate into calories? Here's a lowdown. So 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. Now that means if somebody tells you to take 30 grams of protein a day, which is 30 into 4, which is 120 calories. This is exactly how you do your maths. Now similarly, carbs, 1 gram of carbs has about 4 calories too. And fat, 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. That's why fat actually constitutes the maximum amount of calories. So to design a good weight loss programs, dietitian, nutritionists will always tell you to minimize your fat, because it adds up to 4 additional calories compared to a protein or a carb. That's why you have such program designed. But most of the dietitians or most of the people, what they do is they completely eliminate fat from their diet, which is not a good thing. I'll talk about that. How is that going to help? Now, what do you need protein for in your body? If you go to a gym or if you ask any fitness trainer, they would tell you what you need protein for. It actually builds and repairs your muscle tissues. This is the building block of every muscle, and this is exactly what you need this protein for. This is not the energy source of your body where your body will supply you the energy. What is that energy source? That's carbs. Now the problem with people with weight loss diets is they completely remove carbs, and when you do that, I keep following different diet plans and do this trial and error on myself. I realize every time I eliminate carbs from my diet, I get very cranky. I get jittery, I snap. कोई भी दिखता है मैं पकड़ के बस कुछ भी बोलना start कर देता हूँ. It happens because your brain only understands one language of food, which is carbs. So now, if you were to eliminate food from your brain, what will happen? Obviously, there will be some withdrawal symptoms. You will feel agitated, you will feel cranky. So that's why it's never a good idea to eliminate carbs. What is the role of fat? Now, if you say fat leads to 9 calories per gram, do we actually need fats in our diet? Of course we need fats in our diet. What do we need this for? They actually transfer minerals to our bodies. Now, just imagine if you had a good source of carbs into your body. Let's say you had rice. Now you need something to transfer or transport that, whatever vitamins or whatever fiber or whatever complex carbs this rice would have to transfer into a different body stream. That's the role of fat for us. So fat doesn't mean it'll make you fat. It's just fat. Think of it, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it because it's going to get very complex. I just want to keep it very simple, a top-down view. Now, what is the role of fats there? I just talked about it. It just transfers minerals to our body. Now coming back to, and you know what, there is an important element to all these macronutrients, which is alcohol. Now people say that, can I drink alcohol? How many calories would an alcohol have? I want to have vodka, I want to have gin, I want to have scotch. The problem with alcohol is, unlike protein, carbs and fat, which actually has some role in giving you some nutrients to our body, alcohol is just useless calories. It has 7 calories per ml or per gram, but it's not adding any nutritional value to your diet plan. That's why the first thing you should do is, I'm not going to ask you to stop your alcohol because you need to have some life, and if you've been drinking socially, which is fine, just remember those are just empty calories. Beer is out of the worst one out of the lot. You're just putting empty calories. So think about it, how do you want to do this? Now, coming back to my client question, what should be the ideal breakup if your goal is weight loss or if your goal is muscle gain? Now, if you look back at any nutritional label, it always say that this diet plan includes 2000 calorie diet chart, which means you need 2000 calories per day for an average person. Now, if your goal is to lose weight, you need to understand, obviously you need to first understand your BMR, basal metabolic rate, how much calories you're burning at rest. So there's going to be a different video blog I'll be doing on BMR, how can you actually calculate that. But again, from a top-down perspective, here's the ideal breakup for you to understand how many calories would you need typically from different sources. Say for protein, you need about good 15 to 25%, which translate to 50 to 70 grams of protein in your diet. So let's say, for example, if you're taking your breakfast, if you're taking your lunch, 20% of it should come from protein. It could be from egg whites, it could be from soya, it could be or paneer, any rich protein sources. Second, which is the carbs. So I would say 50 to 60% should come from carbs, which includes your rice, which includes your wheat pastas, which includes your rotis, everything. Third one is fat. Now, I'm a big believer of fat because, fat actually goes back to my point, which I was telling you, why fat is important. Because if you've been following my Facebook blog, I posted one blog there which says that you have to eat fat to lose fat. There's a reason for that. The reason is all these fatty acids then that you actually have, when I say fatty acid, which includes walnuts, includes almonds, all these things you actually need in your body because they play a role of a catalyst in making you lose weight. So whenever you want to lose weight or you have a goal related to weight loss, never ever eliminate carbs. That's the mistake I made. I don't want you to make that mistake. Now, after knowing all this, I'm pretty sure you can understand your own level of macros, how much calories you should be having it. So in my next blog, I will talk more about the ideal scenario, what should be your BMR and what should be your different macro cycle for you to get to your fitness goal. So until then, see ya.